Hello everyone. Before we start, if you have empty seat near you, raise your hand. It's okay. Okay, let's start. Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Minozhenko. This talk is how to hack VMware vCenter server. In this talk I'll discuss some ways to gain control over vCenter, which means to the whole network. I'll describe few non-dangerous bugs. They were 0 days when we found them, but if we can use all of them together, we can hack vCenter. So, first about me. I work as penetration testing at ERPScan company. We do some business security, research, pen testing. Also, I'm one of organizer DEFCON group in Russia and Zero Nights conference. Also, I'd like to play sometimes CTF. And this talk was prepared with Alexei Sentsov, so thanks him to idea and support. Unfortunately, he couldn't attend DEFCON. But before we start talking about VMware, I would like to talk about pen test in general. So the main goal of pen test is show weak elements in infrastructure, how hack system, why we can hack it, and show how we can hack it. We have usually large number of targets, different types, and unfortunately we didn't have usually not much time. It's limited. So we couldn't use all bug hunting methods like source code review, because it's usually a lot of time and we need source reverse engineering. The same reason we could use a little bit of fuzzing if we have web or binary. Anyway, usually we can use logic, looking for logic flow and searching bugs and public research. I would like to show that using public research, like all bugs, all research, all the information, and little bit analysis, we can find new bugs. So one day we have network, big network, and all infrastructure was built on VMware ESXi hosts and vSphere. So all seems pretty secure, all patched up with latest updates. There was no default password or anything stupid, so we decided to try attack vCenter server, because vCenter is a solution to managed vSphere. So if you can hack vCenter, we can hack all VM machine and all infrastructure. So we have vCenter version 4.1 update 1. There are a lot of services on vCenter, like update manager, orchestrator, chargeback, and each service has a web server and usually use Java technology. So first thing we found in a public source, it's old directed reversal discovered by Claudio Crestoni. It's classic directed reversal, I think, but it was fixed in our version, so it's bad. But Alexei Sentsov didn't trust any fix or patch, and after a few minutes he found another directed reversal almost in the same place. Now there are Metasploit module for this directed reversal. So we can read any file, but what file to read? Claudio proposed to read the file VPXD profile. It's a log file, and vCenter uses SOAP protocol, and this log file contains SOAP request with session ID. So if we replace our session ID with session ID from admin, we can get admin access. He also developed a tool called Vasta. it has collection of Metasploit modules and also has a local proxy for this task. But unfortunately, it also was fixed in our version. But it contained IP addresses of administrators. If it contains IP addresses of admins, we can try use classic attack like make IRP poisoning, spoof SSL certificate, and sniff traffic. But administrators of this network was pretty clever, and they add certificate to trusted and didn't clear GNOG button, so it doesn't work. So we find another way. We just steal key via directory traversal and make IRP poisoning, decrypt traffic. But what if IRP spoofing doesn't work? So we do a little bit analysis and found vCenter Orchestrator. If it's a software for automatic configuration and management vCenter, it's installed by default with vCenter, as it has interesting files like JTTC password properties. Each contains MD5 hash without a salt. So nowadays, like I know, it's not very secure. So we, of course, brute forces and gain control. So we get in, and this is interface of Orchestrator configurations. Like you can see, there are a lot of plugins and pages, interesting like database, LDAP, mail, SSH. All that pages, almost all have password field in them. So we think that it will be cool if we can read those password fields, and actually there wasn't just in plain text. Yeah, just like that. Pretty easy for hackers. It's a job. So we also find interesting files like VS.XML and VMware properties. These files looks like this. It has something like it looks like hash, but actually it didn't hash because it has odd length, so definitely not hash. So I encoded few passwords, and as you can see, the first red bytes looks like a length, green bytes was always constant and they was in ASCII range, and black bytes, when you encode other passwords or the same password, they was every time different. And also I would like to say that now there are knowledge base article from VMware about this issue. So I decompiled application and found this pretty simple algorithm. It just generates 60 random string, then take password symbol, add position of this password, and that's all. It's, I think, not very clever decision to store password in this format. So I write simple decoder and Ruby. So it's another way to hack a system. But there was another way. We didn't find that bug during our penetration testing, but I think it's a very interesting bug. It was discovered by guys from Digital Defense, and they found out that vCenter Orchestrator has an old struts library, and that library has a remote code execution bug discovered by Minozhenko Iliyev. It was bug in handling OGNL expression. OGNL expression is a language for setting and getting Java properties, and each HTTP parameter treats as OGNL expression. So you could just bypass this Unicode hash sign and execute any Java code. So it's this example of exploit. You just insert this code in GET request and get remote code execution. So I think that often during penetration testing we have like a big system, big applications, which has a lot of library dependency. So I think that's maybe cool to have some tool to find fast vulnerable library. So I write this tool, it just gets library name, gets its version, and search in Soviet database. Now it uses standard Soviet database, but in future I would like to make my own database of vulnerability. So there are 4 vectors to attack vCenter. We find out like directory traversal and IRP poisoning, directory traversal and password decoding brute forcing, and remote code execution using struts bug. Also, vCenter infrastructure products, there are a lot of products with vCenter, like operation management suite, capacity queue configuration management. They all have some sort of credentials for vCenter. So there are maybe another vulnerabilities in the system. So if you have one, you may think about how to make it more like secure. So for hardening, I recommend to update, of course, the last version. Filter administration services and configurations, such like usual user didn't have access to this. And VMware have vSphere security hardening guide. It's pretty interesting documents. It has a lot of tips which may prevent from 0 days vulnerability, like to make permission on SSL certificate and passwords, something like that. So conclusion that patch are not always fix bug properly, and if pentester can get more profit if he tries to research something, and a few simple bugs, and we can own all infrastructure. So I think that's all. And, I think we have time. Any questions?